Good morning, everybody. So day 2 here on the Crystal Ridge chair. So a little backstory on this old girl. She was originally the Harmony Express over on Whistler Mountain. When that was replaced with a fancy new Doppelmayr 6-pack, she got moved over to the Crystal pod here on Blackcomb. This was one of my favorite pods when I was out here 20 years ago. It used to be serviced by an old Yan triple. So having a vintage quad detachable here really kind of suits the vibe. It's got some amazing intermediate terrain through here, and it's just a really fun pod. So what we're working on today is, you can see the C channel here. We're doing some replacement of the guides due to a few cracks found in them. So kind of a neat setup here. Okay, so when the carriers come into the terminal and start going on to the conveyor system, they run along the C channel here. And what has happened, there was a bit of flexing involved with the original C channel, which resulted in crack down the centers here. So as opposed to just trying to patch it, it's just going to be a matter of cutting it out and putting new in. Thankfully, it's not around the turns. It's just on the straight lead in and lead out here in the terminal. So right now we're in the process of cutting the old channel out, and then we'll get that all cleaned up and be putting this in. So really neat project. I can't say enough good things about the Whistler team and staff. I've been very welcome here. I'm just acting as a gopher really more than anything else. Out west here, you need to be tool and die to be a lift mechanic. Of course, in Ontario, you don't quite need that kind of education, but it's just nice to be able to help these guys, and I'm learning lots. And just a fantastic experience. Not to mention the equipment out here is fantastic. I was working on a 2-year-old Doppelmayr gondola, the Creekside, the other day, which is just a beautiful lift. And now back to something a little bit more vintage. Fingers crossed, I would love to get a chance to work on a Yan while I'm out here. It's kind of been my dream. I've always wanted to work on one. I've ridden them so much, but of course in Ontario we don't have a whole lot of Yans out there. Actually, I don't think we have one Yan that far east. But it's such an amazing experience. Very thankful for it all. Okay, so up here in the return station, and here you can see this C channel here. And that's what the guys are cutting off, and we're going to be welding that new one on. But older design, but really nice setup here. Good morning, everybody. And here I am back on the old crystal chair. This has been one of my hangouts. I spent a fair bit of time on this thing during my trip out here. And today we're just getting chairs put back together after NDT. So Whistler Blackcomb's extremely thorough with their NDT. So when the chairs are down, they're just proactively replacing all the hardware, including the bushings in the hanger arm heads. So here, I'll just show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so the hanger heads on these vintage Pomas are cast and then get bolted right into the hanger arm. And got these cute little bushings here, and they'll just be going in the hanger arm heads. And then there's actually a sleeve that goes in here, so I'm really curious to see how this all goes together for the where the detachable grip mounts on. So we'll get these bushings in. Again, we're using a little bit of green Loctite, and yeah, then we'll be throwing the grips back on. We'll have a look at those. They're quite the weapons. All right, good morning, everybody. We're into the next day here. So we got all the grips installed. And very interesting setup. So you have your main pin goes through here. Then you're going to lock her in with this nut here. On the shaft, there's a couple of channels, so you put your set screw through there, so that's going to keep your nut from backing itself off. This is a spring washer here, so that's going to act as your sway dampener. And this collar actually has a couple pins in it. You can kind of just see on this side, one on each side, so that can't spin. So the idea is this axle will not spin, but the sleeve inside can spin. So it's just a little overly, I don't know, it seems a little overdone to me, but whatever, it works. These have been really good chairs for them. So no complaints. So what we're doing right now, there's a torque value on this nut here. So we'll get that in, we'll get our set screws in so it can't back off. And then we're going to get these chairs on the rail. And then this afternoon, we should be good to start putting them on the line, as the crystal chair here needs a load test. You can see the barrels getting set up there. And that's next week. So it's been a lot of fun working on this old girl and kind of getting the job done from start to finish. So it's been really neat. And just here, this is my morning views, right? I didn't realize how much I missed the mountains till I was out here, but it has been so much fun, such great folks, and just really cool stuff I've been able to play with here. Okay, just coming up to Glacier Creek. I can see they got Crystal running away, so I assume they got all the chairs on. So that's great to see. So I think the plan is to do a load test next week. I'm not sure if I'll be involved or not. Hopefully, I've spent a lot of time on her, so I'd like to kind of finish up. But you know what? No matter where I end up, I'm sure it'll be something new and interesting. It has been a trip of that, and tell you what, couldn't be more thankful for all this.